Ayurveda, Ayurveda, Ayurveda. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know how much I love Ayurveda and I talk about Ayurveda. If you're a beginner who doesn't understand what is Ayurveda, here is my little class or little lesson to teach you the fundamental principles of Ayurveda. Okay, so let's get started. Let us understand what is Ayurveda. 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 Ayu means life. Veda means science. Ayurveda means the science of life. How beautiful. So in Ayurveda, we talk about the science of life. It is not a spiritual science. It is not a religious science. People want to or try to connect it with religion. However, it is not. It is actually a science of life that helps you live a disease-free life. So it is a medical science more than anything else. The most important two concepts in Ayurveda is the dosha theory and then we have the Panchamahabhuta theory. You know, in the whole universe, we see plants, animals, we see rocks, we see wind, we see air, we see the whole earth, right? Everything in this world is made up of what? Atoms, molecules, then matter. Ayurvedically, this is made up of Panchamahabhutas. Pancha means five. Maha means big. Bhutas means entities or Bhavyadeti Bhuta. Something that exists is called Bhuta. So Pancha Mahabhuta. So we have five entities. Just like how we say every single thing is made up of atom, we in Ayurvedic terms say that every single thing in this universe is made up of Panchamahabhutas. Now what are these Panchamahabhutas? Prithvi, up, Tejo, Vayu, Akash. Prithvi means earth. Up means water. Tejo or Tejas means fire. Then we have Vayu or air and Akasham. Akasham could be space, it could be ether, all of this. So everything in this world is made up of the five elements. Yeah, Bhutas means elements, that's the correct word. Now, different combinations of Panchamahabhutas give rise to certain biophysical energies that we have in our body. We call it as doshas. Doshas means dushyate iti doshaha. That means that which is faulty or that which can become faulty is called doshas. And what are these doshas? And these doshas are Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That is dosha, okay? Dosha is this internal biophysical energy that is not Prakriti. Unfortunately, when you go read about Ayurveda, you may see a lot of websites saying, find your dosha, know your dosha, take the dosha quest or, discover your dosha. No, you cannot do that. What you can do is find your Prakriti. Know your Prakriti, discover your Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Prakriti means nature. When a person is born, right, when that first cell of that person is formed, by the conjugation or coming together of that ovum and sperm, at that time, Prakriti is fixed. It's given to the child by the parents as a gift. And this Prakriti or nature of that person does not change in his entire lifetime. Until he dies, he is going to be that Prakriti. Now, what are these Prakritis? Ayurveda, for the ease of giving medicines, for the ease of, classifying people based on the Prakritis, in that way, it is easy to talk about diseases and how diseases manifest, right? And there are 7 Prakritis that Ayurveda mentions. What are these 7 Prakritis? One is Vata Prakriti, second is Pitta Prakriti, third is Kapha Prakriti. Then we have dual Prakritis, which is Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha and Vata Kapha. And then we have another Prakriti, which is the seventh one, which is Vata Pitta Kapha in equal proportions. So people come to me and tell me, Doctor, I think I am a Vata Pitta Kapha Prakriti. To be honest, in my entire practice, entire career, entire experience dealing with patients, I have never found anybody having Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Prakriti together. Maybe there is 1% of the people who are lucky to be born with all these three put together in the same proportion, but it is very difficult to find such people. Now, the most dominant of the Prakritis are Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha and Vata Kapha. Why? Because it is very rare to find somebody with just one Prakriti. Somebody says, I am Vata Prakriti. Okay, that means you are predominantly Vata, but you may have a secondary dosha too. And most people, at least 90% of the people, exist as dual Prakriti. Now, what are the features of these Prakritis? I am going to tell you. Vata Prakriti people. I'm just giving you a few guidelines. These are not 100%. Okay, if you fall into this, you are 100% that. These are just few guidelines to help you understand how this Prakriti works. You know, if you go to any website and do these dosha quizzes, first of all, the name itself is wrong. Secondly, whenever you do these dosha quizzes, you might find that every time you do, you have a new Prakriti, or you find out you have a different Prakriti. The problem is, when you do such things, when you find out your dosha by yourself, and you think you are that Vata or Pitta Prakriti, and if your imbalances currently are Pitta and Kapha, and you try to do things which the same website says, okay, do this, do this, do this, eat this, eat this, eat this, it may not be right. Somebody with high Pitta, say for example, somebody who is like a Pitta Prakriti, and this person is actually a Pitta Prakriti, but the wrong results gave him a Vata Prakriti. Just imagine this situation. And in the Vata food list, there is something called sesame seeds. Have sesame seeds that can subside your Vata. And this person goes and eats sesame seeds. What will happen? Originally, he is Pitta Prakriti, but the website gave the wrong information. And sesame seeds increases Pitta. And that person might get loose motions. That person might get hormonal imbalances. That person might get acidity and all of that. Why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Don't do it. There are experts. Go find any Ayurvedic doctor who can find your Prakriti and tell you this is your Prakriti. However, even if your Prakriti is Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha or Vata Kapha, which stays constant throughout your life, at any given point in time, you can have another dosha imbalance. Say, I am a Vata and Kapha person, but all of a sudden I might have a Pitta imbalance. Then I should be eating foods for the Pitta imbalance, because otherwise then it can lead to a lot of clashes. So there are experts who have invested their time and energy and effort in studying Ayurveda 5.5 years, 6 years, 10 years. Sorry about my throat. Use those information, use those people to give you the correct understanding of your Prakriti, and your diet shouldn't be based on that. Your diet should be based on the imbalances as well. So please consider going to a doctor to find your Prakriti and prescribe you diet. Now that is about Prakriti. Now I'll give you some information. These are just basic things about these Prakritis. Now somebody who is Vata Prakriti, they are thin, they are having little bit of dryness, dry skin, or they may have dry hair, or they have internal dryness, like they may have constipation, they're not able to pass bowel movements very easily. Sometimes they pass, sometimes they may not pass. That is also Vata, that can also be Vata. and their mind parameters are all over the place. They do 100 different things at the same time. Their mind is like, even when they're driving, they're thinking, did I switch off the AC? Did I switch off the AC at home? Did I switch off the burner? These are the things that constantly go around in their mind. That means 100 different thoughts. On a weekend, they would like to do 100 different things, and they will plan for 100 different things, but they wouldn't finish even a single thing. That is Vata Prakriti, but very creative, very very nice people. But these are the issues, and the kind of diseases that these people might get in the future are, joint related, bone related, muscle related, those conditions, anything related to dryness, all of those. That is our Vata Prakriti people. Now coming to Pitta Prakriti people. These are those passionate, loving, caring, hyperstimulated, aggressive, angry, very expressive kind of people who are actually quite nice. If you're in a relationship, you have a Pitta partner, it's great because that person is going to express all the love, but along with that comes other emotions too, which is a different story. But they are like hardcore lovers, like expressing lovers. And they are somebody who is like a go-getter. They want to get something, they want to achieve something, they go get it done, and they don't compromise for it. They are achievers. And Pitta Prakriti people are the people who have a lot of heat inside their body that can cause a lot of issues, other issues, like it can be heat boils, mouth ulcers, stomach is always having some issues, loose motions, acidity, acid reflux, heartburn, you name it, everything related to heat, they have it. That burning sensation, all of that. So those people are the people who are Pitta Prakriti. Now then we have the Kapha Prakriti people. Now Kapha Prakriti people are those loving, nurturing, loyal, huggable, very, very warm kind of people. Those old grandmothers who you would just want to go run to them and hug them and then have peace. That kind of energy is the Kapha energy. But they are very lazy, very difficult to move from one place to another. You make them sit somewhere, they will sit there. They have the earth element, the Panchamahabhutas, the earth element, water element, all of these like heavy elements more in them. They are the people who tend to put on weight easily. They are the people who have, oily features, like, oily skin. Their skin is good. And they are the people who get very good hair, all of that. And these people are the people who can get obesity, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, hypothyroidism, PCOS, all of these can affect Kapha people. Now, as I said, always remember, nobody exists, or very, very few people exist as just one Prakriti. It's always a combination. I am a Vata and Kapha. I am both. I'm an extreme in that case. Like I have dryness, at the same time I have oiliness. And I feel it from time to time. And I myself get confused. Am I having high Kapha or high Vata? That happens all the time with me. Coming to relationships, I want to tell you, this is very interesting. In relationships, if you're a Vata person, you are somebody who is like, when you start the relationship, you have butterflies, you love that person, you express it, but routines make you feel bored. So as you pass along your journey of life, you will lose interest a little bit. And there comes Pitta people. Pitta people are aggressive and they are very good with relationship. They are long-term people. And now we have the Kapha people who are the loyal, very true lovers. But at the same time, they will not be that energetic. On a weekend, you want to go out or you want to take them out, it's a task, because they would say, I would just relax at home. I'll just watch movie. I'll just Netflix and chill. this will be the response from a Kapha person. So that is the thing with Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Prakritis. Okay, these are basic, but there are a lot of layers of things to understand about Prakriti. If you want to go deep understanding the Prakritis and everything, you can even take my course. So I have there's a book called Ashtanga Sangraha which I'm explaining in my Charaka Samhita course. It's like very detailed, elaborate description on the Prakritis. Now, two things I want to talk about before I finish the first class of Ayurveda. I want to tell you, Ayurveda is individualized. When you go to certain websites, they will have a dosha quiz. Below that, they will have something to sell, saying, okay, you are a Vata. So now you found out you are a Vata Pitta person. So try this. Get this wellness kit. Get this detox kit. Get this, they have something to sell. Ayurvedically, except for few instances, Ayurveda does not talk about generalized methods, treatments, food, anything. It is all about individualized treatment, individualized diet, individualized practices, routines. Everything is individualized because it is not just Vata, Pitta and Kapha that we have to take into consideration. We have to take a few other things. The second thing that we need to understand is the tissue systems. Tissue systems are the dhatus in our body. Dhatus, that means when you eat food, when the food gets split into good part and the bad part goes for elimination, good part goes for nourishing your body tissues. So what are your body tissues? You have Sapta Dhatus in your body. It has blood, plasma, you have bone tissue, you have your reproductive tissue, you have your bone marrow, you have your fat tissue, different kinds of tissue. 7 tissue systems are there in the body. Sometimes a person comes with Vata and Pitta imbalance. You understand it. Maybe from the website or whatever, you understand somehow. But the individualization that I told you happens here. How are the tissues in the body? Sometimes, say for example, psoriasis is a condition where your skin, you get these lesions, dryness, scaliness, itchiness, flakiness, all of it, and that is psoriasis. And in psoriasis, what happens? It is not just Vata, Pitta and Kapha, which are the doshas which are under imbalance, but also the tissue systems are imbalanced. The blood tissue is imbalanced. Some other tissue may be imbalanced. So these imbalances vary person to person. And when you give diet, when you give medicines, it has to be based upon all of that. And Ayurveda also talk about another layer of complexity to make it individualized, and that is the 3 malas, which is Sweda, Mutra and Purisha. That means sweat, urine and feces. What is it about? How is it? All of these we need to consider. That is why Ayurveda talks about few parameters for good health. Samadosha, Samagnischa, Samadhadu, Malakriya, Prasanna Atma Indriya Mana, Swasteta Vidhiyate. Samadosha, Vata, Pitta and Kapha are in balance. Sama Agnischa, that means you have good Agni or good digestive fire, good digestion. It is not bad one day, good the next day or irregular. Everything about your digestion is perfect and balanced. Samadosha, Samagnischa, Samadhatu. All 7 tissue systems, as I said, are properly aligned and balanced. Mala, Sama Mala, that means balanced excretion. That means everything about your sweda, which is sweat, urine and feces, all of these are in balance. Mala, Kriya, all the bodily functions in the body is in balance. Not just that, the mind. Prasanna Atma Indriya Mana. Prasanna means everything working properly, everything having the best quality, Atma, soul, Indriya, sense organs, Mana, mind, everything is in balance, then you can call that person a healthy person. That is why Ayurveda is individualized, because we have to look at all these layers of parameters to give a diet, to give a medicine, to give a treatment. So if somebody is only looking at Vata Pitta and then giving you the medicine treatment, that is not 100% proper treatment. Change the doctor. Last thing, you might have heard of the word Panchakarma. Panchakarma is 5 purification techniques according to Ayurveda. And you may have heard this a lot. Come to India, take Panchakarma. Come to India, come to wherever in the world, take Panchakarma. Panchakarma is your detoxification, all of that. Panchakarma is actually meant for treating 3% of diseases only. Only 3% of the diseases in the entire world need Panchakarma. Rest 97% of all the diseases do not require Panchakarma. It only requires Ahara, Vihara, good diet, good lifestyle, good routines, all of that. You don't need, if the disease does not subside with these, then you give medicines. If it still does not subside with medicines, that is when you opt for Panchakarma. See, I am coming from a Panchakarma background. Like, my father was a Panchakarma specialist. He used to do Panchakarma for people. However, it was not offered to each and every person who comes to the clinic. Okay, you have psoriasis, take 10 Shirodhara, 10 Takradhara, 10 Kashaya Dhara. No. Or you have infertility, come take Vasti. No. You have any condition, come to me, I'm going to give you 10 different treatments which you have to do in the clinic. No. That is commercial Ayurveda. This was not written in Ayurvedic texts. That is how we have been told by marketing to make money. Because most of these people, they have facilities, they have their overheads, they have their people. I have a new Ayurvedic hospital in Kerala. Nobody is given random massages, random treatments. Nobody. Everything starts with diet and medicines, routines, all of that. Medicines again, no toxic metals, nothing. Just herbs. And that too, very mild herbs. No ashwagandha, no shatavari in my medicines. So a lot of things we need to understand when it comes to Ayurveda. This is just the beginning. We are going to learn a lot more about Ayurveda in my future videos. Thank you for watching. This is a pretty long video, but I'm sure this was very helpful for you. Thank you.